Hello, hello, and welcome back. We've got 50 minutes on the timer. I'm sure that's plenty of time. But I'm going to go ahead and conserve on the battery, and I just wanted to show you that I have all the cards here from the previous story. And I'm going to go ahead and take those out. And I'll be right back having them shuffled. If I can get it to pause. Got one done. You can see the timestamps. I think it's important to do this just so no one thinks that I'm manipulating the cards and how they come out. I'm going to marry those together. Sometimes it's messy, so I'll be right back. All right, and we are back. Okay. This is probably another way that I can go about doing it. Bottom of the deck, we've got a ruler. Is our overall energy. Either it's some kind of comparison, it is some kind of ruler, some in a country, could be a CEO, somebody, the head of a company, making plans, because a lot of times you got to measure things out in order to know where things are going to fit, right? Parting the deck, we've got the vampire bat. And on the other side, bottom of the deck of that is there's a decision to be made. I'm wanting to take that, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it. I'm going to take the first bunches of cards. Oh, look, we've got the snow globe. That was our overall energy, and it is the beginning card of what we have now. We've got greater than, props, monster, monster had an idea of some sort. Maybe someone's getting support by some sort of monster with great ideas. Bell, if it looks like a bell, sounds like a bell, it is a bell. We've got someone very content in the situation. Also, spiritual protection there. Cats are known to be spiritual protectors. So if you see a lot of people who are readers and their cat comes cruising across the table, it's because they sense something is lurking in the energy coming towards that reader. So I always find that interesting. Somebody's significant other. Someone is trying to lure someone significant over. Something stinks in the situation, a busy bee. Another cat, isn't that interesting? Independent. Dried out, could have something to do with desert lands. It's a prickly situation. The 10 card, someone thinks it's a perfect plan. The comb over. Concealing something, making something appear to be better than what it is. Could be an insecurity. Someone could have their hair in a gradient fashion, or they could have the undersides cut or shaved. There's some kind of illusion going on with this, a certain time frame. We've got footsteps, key, web, a creative web, a cycle of life, a trap of some sort caused by a hermit or a cancer. Somebody's faking the situation. Umbrella, the overseeing corporation to something, or it could be just being protected from the elements, considering this is a plastic bottle cap that this little crab is wearing, trying to protect its most vital organs with plastic, toxic chemicals. We've got that kiss, and we've got bored, like someone is bored. This was used to be my yawn card, and I changed it into bored, like I'm just so bored. But it's also signifying like a surfboard or a cork board or a chalkboard, something that you write notes on to try to educate and teach people about. It could have something to do with a surfer, as well as out of left field that would be on this card. I realize we've got the colon. Maybe someone liked to do it that way. Maybe they go both ways. Maybe they like men and women, and it would be a man that we're talking about. If that's your thing, that's your thing. You know what I mean? Who has the right to even judge that? I feel it's really sad when people feel like they've got to hide the fact that they like who they like. Makes me sad. I mean, love is all about good things, and if you love another person, you love another person. I think it was in the Native American, I'm sorry if I'm using the wrong terminology. I believe it was in their culture that if you were the person who actually liked the same sex, that you were viewed as more of a gift. Anything that was different or unique in that culture was viewed as a positive, because it just meant that you were not the norm, and so it was looked at as like a good thing. And I think it's like that in India too. I think they were doing that as far as like there was a cow or something that was born with two heads. I think what do they call that? A parasitic twin or something like that. And they thought it was a blessing. So I don't know, to each their own. To each their own. I don't know where we came up with this whole thing of judgment and why we allow it to rule our lives. That's where the stress lies, you know. Next card out would be the new day. So maybe everyone needs to focus on the, living in the moment so that the new days can be brighter. I mean, a new day is going to happen anyway, so you might as well, this is left field. If you have a plan or something that you wanted to do and you're like, oh, it's just going to take me so long, you know what? It's going to happen. Days are going to pass anyway, so you might as well just start getting on it now. Okay, so this souvenir or this clouded environment somehow has a greater presence than the drama and the performance that's been going on around it, if that makes any sense. So it's like the distraction, I guess, so to speak. It's like the distraction is way bigger than what's really happening or what's really being performed in front of you. It could be some kind of monstrous, some like big situation, big idea that's quite alarming. And it has to do with travel or going to a different country than your origin, because you need a passport to go to a different country, right? And it could have something to do with some kind of ruler. Spiritual protection, contentment. This little cat's tail is wagging, just so happy, purr, 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 right? They're very happy to move. They're happy to pack up. They're happy to go somewhere. They're happy to leave their past behind. Someone's trying to call them over, as I said, when he was coming out. Someone's trying to call somebody over. It could be their significant other. It could be someone who is trying to call someone over, maybe to the richness of life, maybe to the more well-off way of living. Maybe someone was packed up and moved to this kind of lifestyle, and now they're seeing how it just kind of stinks. Or maybe that's where they are, and they're trying to show someone, I'm going to protect it at all costs. And they're really busy at doing that. They're protecting the queen bee. Skunks are also black and white. Someone could have someone who is, that they think is their forever partner, who is who works for, the agency that is black and white. I love how that relates to how, like, the truth is always just black and white, but I mean, is there gray parts of the truth? That would kind of go with our snow globe. Those gray areas that you got to kind of pay attention to. That snow globe is going to settle down, folks. Anything that's stirred up inside that little snow globe is going to settle as the helicopter goes by. Wave and say hi. Wave and say hi, folks. So again, with the illusion card on this third card, we've got illusion here, we've got drama and props going on up there, and then we've got the whole distraction thing clouding the view of somebody is huge. The colon card, why am I thinking I need to explanations, introduce lists, conducts, quotes after a complete sentence, elaborates a fact, but we don't have quotes. Details preceding the cause, separate titles, acts as a signpost. So maybe someone was trying to give this idea that someone that they were looking at is independently working in a stance that where they're kind of like, they've got this prickly personality. They're like maybe a perfect, it's a perfect plan, they're thinking. To manipulate or override this illusion of time. Following the footsteps could be a child or a mentee. This was my child car, like someone's own child, or they are a child of someone. Granted, anyone alive is a child of someone, so that makes that kind of hard. But it was more insinuating that it's actually the person's child who is the key to the trap. Getting someone to have to carry their own home on their back. Maybe they want this person homeless. Someone's bored with the situation. We've got the bat which is a nocturnal animal. Gets a bad rap. Poor things get rabies. They hang upside down. All the blood rushes to their head. Maybe someone's being hung upside down. Maybe they're being waterboarded. Because we've got the water there. The kiss, was it a good kiss or not a kiss? The artist who did the kiss paid homage to a friend of his who was actually just a platonic friend and a business partner. If you can see in the painting, it's like he's not even kissing that person on the lips. It's more of a side kiss on the cheek, which I found interesting because when I hear the expression the kiss, it sounds like it's like some romantic thing, but it's not. It's actually out of respect. The vampire bat. Western culture sees it as, I can't see the first word, but secrets and violence. Intuition and sensitivity, highly social, trust your inner voice and instincts when making this decision. Whatever this decision may be, mind over heart, heart over mind. In Chinese culture, it's a symbol of extremely good fortune, happiness, and longevity. Represents the 5 blessings of wealth, health, long life, virtues, and a personal peaceful passing when it should be your time. Everyone's going to have a time. Facing and letting go of fear and releasing patterns that no longer serve you or your soul growth. The last story we had facing your fears with love as well, which is interesting. The ability to move through fear and uncertainty, transformation, guiding through personal change, navigating to the unknown. And it's right there next to that whole being content with having to move, pack up and move. There's nothing wrong with moving. Ran into a lady at a storage unit and she was packing all her stuff up in there, and I told her congratulations on the move, and she goes, "Oh, are you moving?" And I said, "No, I'm just bringing my stuff out." And she was saying how it's much better to be in a house than it is an apartment because apartments has so many rules and stuff. And she was actually bringing in the kitchen sink into her storage unit, and I kind of laughed because I was like, usually the statement is bringing everything but the kitchen sink. But no, this lady, she had the kitchen sink with her. She's like, "It's a nice sink." I said, "Yes, it's a nice sink. I agree." So there's that. It was a stainless steel sink. I don't know. My mind is trying to tell me what the scenario was in that, but it's like, that's her business. um We've got the snow globe here with the board here. Someone's bored with their little trinkets and their souvenirs. We have the following in the footsteps, maybe of this travel or of the ruler, since the ruler is the complete story. Maybe like a predecessor of some sort. Independence here. This is supposed to be my resting BITCH face. Maybe someone comes across as one way, but they're actually really quite nice. This person's significant other turned out to be a monster. Maybe this plan has something to do with going from these different continents here. Starting down in the, what is it, South America? Coming up through the Americas and then over here into Africa. Hey Google, can you give me the connection between a game of Red Rover, a lobster, a skunk, a busy bee, and a colon, please?
That's a fun puzzle. The connection between Red Rover, a lobster, a skunk, a busy bee, and a colon can be found in the concept of defense and protection. Red Rover involves players linking arms to form a defensive chain. A lobster is protected by a hard external shell. A skunk uses a potent defensive spray to deter threats. A busy bee defends its hive by stinging. The colon has a mucosal layer that acts as a vital physical and immunological defense against harmful bacteria and toxins. Each item, in its own way, employs a method of defense or protection.
Interesting. All right. Hey Google, can you tell me the connection between the cat's meow, cactus, the number 10, map, a comb over, illusion, and a dash?
I can certainly find a connection between those. You can link a cat's meow, a cactus, the number 10, a map, a comb-over illusion, and a dash through the concept of communication and presentation. A cat's meow is a form of vocal communication. A cactus presents a visual texture or statement. The number 10 is used to communicate numerical information. A map is a visual communication tool for directions. A comb-over is a presentation intended to create an illusion. And finally, a dash is a punctuation mark used for communication and writing.
Next row, can you tell me, hey Google, can you tell me the connection between footsteps, key, spiderweb, hermit, umbrella, the kiss, and board?
I've found a connection for those items centered around the theme of access and passage. Footsteps trace a path or passage. A key grants access. A spiderweb blocks or controls passage, though gently. A permit gives legal access or passage. An umbrella provides passage through the rain by blocking it. A kiss can be a formal or intimate passage into a relationship or commitment. And a board, like a plank, can create a passage over water or a gap.
Last one. Hey Google, can you connect these following? Snow globe, greater than, props, monster, idea, bell, passport.
I can certainly try to find a connection between those items. How about the theme of containment, manifestation, and representation? A snow globe contains a miniature world and represents a memory. The greater than symbol represents a mathematical relationship. Crops manifest from the land. A monster represents a fear or an idea. An idea can be contained in a person's mind. A bell can signal the manifestation of a beginning or ending. And a passport represents permission to travel outside of a boundary.
Hey Google, can you tell me the relation between ruler, new day, vampire bat, and decision?
Hello there. The connection between a ruler, a new day, a vampire bat, and a decision can be found in the theme of time and measurement. A ruler is used to measure distance and time periods, like a school term. A new day is a fundamental unit of time. A vampire bat is nocturnal, with its behavior dictated by the time of day. They hunt at night. And a decision is a point in time where a final choice is made, often concluding a period of deliberation. They are all linked by the concept of when or how long.
Thank you. With that being said, folks, make it a great day.